Okay. All the cells are formed from the pre-existing cells or existing cells. Existing cells. So that process is known as cell division. That process is known as cell division. Cell
Can we
division.
just write division
Sorry?
rather than writing the full sentence?
Rather than writing the full sentence, you are
Full
asking me
sentence.
the cell division.
Yeah,
Oh
sir.
yes, it is okay. Not sure, but cell division. Yes, it is okay. Actually, within the sentence, cell division is hidden. Okay, cell division is the hidden meaning of that term. That is okay. But you know there is two kind of cell division. There are two cell division types. Can you remember? There are two kind of cell divisions. What are those cell divisions? One is mitosis. What is the other one?
Meiosis.
Mitosis and meiosis. Those are the two kind of cell divisions. Two kind of cell divisions. Mitosis and the meiosis. Okay. Hmm. Have you heard about two N cells and N cells? N cells. Do you know? Do you have any idea? Two N cells and N cells. In two N cells, in two N cells, in two N cells, there is two pair of chromosomes. Okay, two pairs of chromosomes. Not two pair of chromosomes. That means for us it is 46 chromosome. Okay, 23 into 2. But in N cells, we have only 23. 23. Basically, in sperm cells and ovule cells, we can see N kind of N cells, and other than every place, we can see two N cells. We can see two N cells. Okay, that is for your additional knowledge. Then let's write the third sentence. All the cells are arise from. All the cells are arise from. All the cells are arise from. All the cells are arise from pre-existing cells. Pre-existing cells. Within bracket write cell divisions. Within bracket write cell divisions. Sasi, do you want to leave? Do you have the lecture at that time? Okay. Okay. Then let's move to the next topic. This is a very important topic in our syllabus. Very important topic. Okay. Then we talked about cells now. We talked about cells. Then all the living cells, all the living cells can be categorized under two main cells type. All the living cells can be categorized under two main living cell types. Two main living cell types. One is prokaryotic cells, other one is eukaryotic cells. One is prokaryotic cells, other one is eukaryotic cells. Okay. Then as the first one, right, prokaryotic cells. I will show you the second one. First one, right, prokaryotic cells. Second one is eukaryotic cells. Second one is eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells. Eukaryotic cells. Finish writing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then do you have any idea what is meant by prokaryotic cells and eukaryotic cells? Can you give me an example for prokaryotic cells? Okay. Prokaryotic cells. Examples are bacteria and archaea. Bacteria and archaea. Okay. There is we know there are three, not kingdom. What is called that before kingdom? English term is not count. Give me a second, okay? It's called that in English.
So is it domain?
Yes, domain. Domain. Yes, domain. Domain. Okay. Then there are three kind of domain. First one is bacteria. Next one is archaea. Other one is bacteria, archaea. Other one is eukarya. Eukarya. Bacteria domain, archaea domain, and eukarya domain. In this bacteria and archaea domain, okay, all the cells in bacteria and archaea belong to this prokaryotic cells. Okay, all the cells in bacteria and archaea domain is prokaryotic cells. Then eukarya domain is known as eukaryotic cells. In eukarya domain, we can see eukaryotic cells. Okay. EU. That is started with EU. So simply we can understand that. Understood?
Yes, sir.
And next thing is, these prokaryotic cells have originated before eukaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells are the very first living cell in this world. Very first living cells in this world. Okay, very first living cell in this world. In here, prokaryotes mean it has given like prokaryotic mean before nucleus. Before nucleus. That means remember in prokaryotic cells you cannot see any nucleus. Understood? That is the main difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells. In eukaryotic cells you can see nucleus, but in prokaryotic cells you cannot see uh, yes, you can leave. But remember, you have to watch the recording before the next class, okay? And complete the note. Okay, okay, you're welcome. And don't forget to watch that paper recording, okay? Please make correction, and if you have any doubt, please let me know. Okay, good night. Okay, okay. What was I talking about? Ah, nucleus, no? Okay. In prokaryotic cells, we can't see a nucleus, but in eukaryotic cells, there are nucleus. That is the main difference. Understood?
Yes, sir.
That is the main difference. Okay, that doesn't mean there are no any differences. There are differences between eukaryotic and prokaryotic cells, but that is the main difference. And remember, this is the I told you this is the very first living cell in this world. Very first living cell in this world, and actually that is the simpler and evolutionary older type. Evaluation order type found in bacteria and archaea. Oh. Bacteria and archaea. Bacteria and archaea. Then prokaryote mean before nucleus. Before nucleus. Can you highlight these terms? Abdul, we had started the class, no? And actually it is almost we have come to the end. It's okay, I will send you the recording, okay?
Okay, sir.
Did you work that? Sorry, did you do the paper? Abdul, I'm asking from you. Did you do the paper?
Sir, I did only half.
Why? What is the reason? You didn't know you don't have any time? Enough time?
Not enough time, sir. That's why.
Okay. Please do within
I'll
2 3 days,
complete
okay?
it today, sir.
Sorry?
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
I will send this to you, okay? Then you can go through it. And we can actually save some time from that matter. And we can focus for the calculation, mainly for the calculations. After I finish.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Prokaryotic means before nucleus. Okay. This is, do you know the meaning of typical cell? Typical cell? Typical cell? Typical cell.
Sir, I can't remember it.
Typical cell. Actually, a typical cell mean that is kind of imaginary cell. Okay, that is a kind of imaginary cell. That means this typical cell has all the organelles and all the component we have to learn. We have to learn. That means this typical cell and with its component and the organelles have developed for making the study purposes. Actually, in the actual scenario, we cannot see that kind of cell. Actually, that is kind of definition for that one. Okay, that is prepared only for the studying purposes. Only for the studying purposes. That is known as the typical cell. It has all the organelles and the component we want to learn. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then let's see key characteristic of prokaryotic cell. Key characteristic of prokaryotic cells. Actually, I have given you the diagram in here, but you should have the ability to draw this one by yourself. Okay. Draw this somewhere in the tube, or you may draw it in a separate paper and attach to here. Got it? Because
Yes, sir.
in the past papers, you asked to name this one. You asked to name the component and the organelles here. In some of the term test papers, you asked to draw this one. Okay, draw and name this one. Likewise. Okay, then let's move to the typical cell. It's a typical cell of bacteria. Shall we write that here? Typical bacterium cell. Typical bacterial cell. Right? Typical bacterial cell. Typical bacterial cell.
Okay, sir. Done.
Okay, sorry about that. This is a typical bacterial cell. Safra, do you have any question? I saw you have unmuted yourself.
No, sir. I just said finished.
Okay. Then here, this is just like a tail, no? It's yellow color, so not yellow, green colored part. This is just like a tail. This is known as the bacterial flagellum. Bacterial flagellum. Bacterial flagellum. And you can see some hair-like structures origin from the cell wall. Some of them are in the cell wall and some of them are in the not cell wall, some of them are in plasma membrane, okay? Cell wall and the plasma membrane, mostly from the plasma membrane. These are known as pili. These are known as pili. Actually, the main function of this pili and flagellum is same. Pili and the flagellum is same. Can you guess the function? Can you guess the function? Can you guess the function? What the function is? This used for movement, movement, movement. Just like just like us, we use our legs, no? Our legs for movement, and this bacteria use pili and flagellum for their movement. Movement. Then this red colored part is known as the cell wall. This is cell wall. Cell wall. Cell wall. In the outer side of the cell wall, we can see plasma membrane. This part, plasma membrane. That means this is continued up to here, no? Plasma membrane, and you can see uh, some pilies are originated from this plasma membrane. Pilies are originated from this plasma membrane. Plasma membrane. Okay. Then at the outer side of the plasma membrane, we can see cytoplasm that is in blue color. This blue colored part is known as the cytoplasm. Then previously I asked you where we can see mitochondria, nucleus, and chloroplast. Such organelles can be seen. Actually, in that time I told you we can see that in a cell, no? We can see those organelles in a or those cell structures in a cell. Within that cell, these cellular structures are embedded on this cytoplasm. Embedded on this cytoplasm. Understood?
Yes,
In
sir.
here also, they are embedded in the cytoplasm. This yellow colored part is the cytoplasm. This different type of shapes and colors part are the organelles. Likewise. Okay. Then just can you see there is some noodles-like structure? That's something like noodles-like structure in the red color. The red color.
Yes, sir.
That is known as the circular DNA. That is known as the circular DNA or nucleoid. That is responsible for genetic material. Genetic material. So genetic materials are inside this circular DNA. Circular DNA. And there is another part called plasmid. 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 This is also just like genetic material. Just think it is just like as a genetic material. And this plasmid is used for genetic engineering. Genetic engineering. I will tell you what is mean by genetic engineering. Okay, later. Genetic engineering. In the whole syllabus, we had to learn about genetic engineering. In the new syllabus, though that part is omitted, but that is one of the beautifulest, or one of the fascinating thing in biology. The fascinating thing. Okay. Then can you write this genetic engineering and genetic materials?
Wrote, sir.
Wrote. Okay. Then hmm, okay. Then you have to draw this at home. Okay. That must be happening. You should draw this at home. Okay. Then here we have some in details content, but I summarize all the things into a single table, which will be very convenient for you to study. And when you're remembering the content, or when you study the content. Okay, then let's see some main characteristic. This is the other main characteristic. That means first one I told you there is no any nucleus in the prokaryotic cells. There is no any nucleus in the prokaryotic cells. No any nucleus in the prokaryotic cells. Okay. Then this is the next special thing. There is no any membrane bound nucleus. When membrane bound nucleus and membrane bound organelles. There is no any membrane bound organelles. Understood? Membrane bound organelles, what are that? In some organelles, we can see a single membrane. A one membrane we can see. In some of there are three organelles. There are three organelles. We can see two membrane bound organelles. Sorry, two membranes. Two membranes. Okay. There are three organelles. We can see two outer membrane actually. Outer membrane. Those are Abdul. Can you remember? What are those organelles? There are three organelles which have two membranes. Safra, do you know? For you all else, you have to learn.
Cannot remember, sir.
Okay. First one is nucleus. It has two membranes. Second one is mitochondria. Third one is chloroplast. Chloroplast. Those have three sorry, those have two membranes. Those three have two membranes. Those three have two membranes. Just remember we will have to learn about in the next upcoming lessons. Okay. Then here, observe this cell and tell me what is the cell? Sorry, what is the organelle you can see in here? What is the organelle?
So can you repeat the question?
In this typical bacterium cell, what is the organelle you can see? Organelles mean mitochondria, then chloroplast, nucleus, next one vacuole, likewise.
Is it ribosomes?
Yes, that is ribosome. That is ribosome. Cytoplasm, plasma membrane, those are also kind of organelle, that is okay. But the answer I want was ribosome. Ribosome. Remember I told you there are three kind of organelle, which has one and which has two, and the last one is which doesn't has any membrane. It doesn't has any membrane. Remember, ribosome doesn't has membranes. That's why we can see ribosome in the bacterium cell or prokaryotic cell. Remember that one, okay? That is a very popular question. Very popular question.
Okay, sir.
Remember, ribosome is the only organelle we can see in a prokaryotic cell. Then how you can remember that all these things? You have to just remember ribosome doesn't has any membrane, and nucleus, mitochondria, and chloroplast. This has two membrane and all the rest has one. You have to remember about only four organelles. Understood? That is how you have to study, okay?
Okay, sir.
Otherwise, remember each and every bite, that is not possible and that is very hard, but you have to smart. You have to smart. Okay, then genetic materials is located on the regional called nucleate, okay? We call that, we discussed about that one, and that is known as circular DNA, right? Circular DNA. Circular DNA. Circular DNA. Finish writing?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then DNA is typically circular, okay, we discussed, and not associated with histone proteins. Histone protein, there is a kind of protein which is associated with actually what is called that chromosomes, okay? Chromosomes. Histone proteins are associated with chromosomes in eukaryotic cells, but in here we cannot see histone protein. Highlight that one. Highlight. Not associated with histone protein. Histone protein. When you have allergic, as I can remember, when you have allergic, histone and heparin proteins are secreted. Heparin proteins are secreted. Due to this two kind of protein, you can see that allergic conditions. Allergic condition means that is a kind of sign allergic has happening within our body, but the sign is I cannot how to tell that. You can imagine, no? Okay. Then internal structure. Internal structure. Okay, no membrane bound organelles. Okay, we talked about them. And ribosomes are smaller. Okay. Then there are two kind of ribosomes. So there are two kind of ribosomes. One is 18S ribosome, other one is 17S ribosome. 18S ribosome and 17S ribosome. This 18S ribosomes are associated with eukaryotic cells, and this 17S ribosomes are associated only with prokaryotic cells. Understood?
So can you repeat it?
Sure. There are two kinds of ribosomes called 18S ribosomes and other one is 17S ribosomes. Okay, these 17S ribosomes are bit smaller than this 18S ribosomes. And this is the kind of ribosome we can see in prokaryotic cells. Prokaryotic cells. Understood?
Yes, sir, understood.
Okay. Okay, internal structure is okay. Then cell envelope. Cell envelope. Cell envelope means that this outer region. Cell membrane, plasma membrane controls what enter and exist. Okay, yes. It is act as a gate. It is act as a gate. Okay. That gate control or that gate allow the things which should enter and which should exist. Okay. That things that is harm to the internal structures, so the cell is not allowed most of the time. Those kind of chemicals or those kind of things are not allowed within to the cells. Within to the cells. Give me a second. Okay. Then cell wall provide structure and protection. Okay, the cell wall. It is just like a wall, okay? Just like a wall which is built for our houses. And it also gives us protection. And this is important. This cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. This cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Peptidoglycan. And this peptidoglycan is known as the murine. 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 Give me a second. I want to check the spelling, okay? Murine. Give me a second. Peptidoglycan and murine are same things. Just highlight that peptidoglycan. Murine. M-U-R-E-I-N. M-U-R-E-I-N. Murine. M-U-R-E-I-N. Murine. Is the spelling correct? Spelling.